Well, good morning. Today is Sunday, June 6th, and we have a birthday. Today is Steve Lopez's birthday, so Steve gets a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Steve. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And does anybody know where the heck what is it? Oh, does anybody know where the heck Grantsboro, North Carolina is? I'm sure somebody does, because somebody sent me this shirt. I forget who it was. Please let me know in the comments below. I usually write it inside the shirt. I put it in a little, marker, so that I can remember who gave me what. And I don't remember, and I forgot to write it in there, so I so apologize. But I really love it. I love the shirt. It's bright. People can see me coming. Anyway, it's hot out here already. It's not even 12. And it's already 86 degrees and muggy. It's very muggy. I watered my flowers. My one patient that was like, ooh, and that came to life, it's in a pretty shady area. I get a little bit of sun where it's at. Not a lot, but a little bit of sun, but obviously just enough that I need to water it every day. So I have already watered all my plants. I have one little cucumber coming, and I got one little tomato bud, and I got a lot of little peppers coming on my plants. So the farmer in the dell, the farmer in the dell. We'll see. We used to have, I always did patio plants. I never did them in the ground. We have a lot of bunnies, so it's kind of, everybody here that has gardens have above ground gardens, because even with the little fences, somehow they manage to hop over it. I don't know how they get into them, but they do. But anyway, at our old house, I always had potted tomato plants, and I'd see them coming up, and I'd think, oh, they're looking beautiful and that, and then I'd go out to pick a tomato, and they'd be gone, and I'm thinking, oh, some animal came up on my deck, because my deck was lower. Like the animal came on my deck and ate my tomatoes. How dare they? And then one day I just happened to be looking out. It was my dog, Riley. He loved tomatoes. Every time he saw a tomato on the plant, he'd eat it. So then I realized that as long as I had Riley, I wasn't going to have a tomato plant. I probably could have figured out a way, but anyway, what's going on? Oh, they're fixing their deck. I'm trying to nosy body that I am. I'm almost done with my book that I was reading yesterday, Marshall Muller's City of Whispers. I know it's from the New York Times best-selling author. I really wouldn't recommend the book. It's an okay read, but it's not a captivating read. I can put it down and just walk away. And like I did yesterday, I always tell you, I always like to save the last few pages when I'm reading a book for the end. And I only have, 10 pages left on this book? And I stopped in the middle of a chapter even. That's how boring the book was. So I don't recommend it. Sorry, who's it wrote it? Marcia Muller. Sorry, Marcia. Not one of my favorites. And then I'm going to read another author that I've never read before, but it's another New York Times best-selling author, so I don't know. It's called A Stand-Up Guy. This is the one I'm going to read next. By Stuart Woods. Oh, right there. Stuart Woods. Duh. And then Marcia Muller. Duh. You can see today's going to be my day of... What? Anyway, this is something about a long time ago crime that they're going to find the information that they need to find out about it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to start that one today. Danny's mother-in-law gave me a whole bag full of books that she was going to donate to the Salvation Army. So I went through them and found I got a whole grocery bag full of books, probably about 20 bucks. Not to mention like the 100 books I have in the house. But you can never have too many books. You just never can. I saw a bookshelf that I thought was really cool. I have no place to put it. But it starts like a staircase going up. It was just... Well, that reminded me, I was going to look for my outside clock when I was in the house. I forgot. I completely forgot. Remind me at the end of this video. I need to go in the house and get my clock, because I need to know what time it is out here. I have a watch, but like when we're in the pool, I like to look up. And I know my watch can go in the pool, but it's like you got to set it and do all the... no. And then I have decided that either this week or next week I'm going to get a new phone. This phone is... It does its purpose, but it doesn't hold a charge very long. Like I said, I went to bed, it was 100%. I woke up this morning, it was at 72. I played a couple games on it, it dropped it down to 40. So it's just the battery. I know I could probably just change the battery, but I think I'm due for an upgrade anyhow, because it's been so long since I did one. So I'll probably do that. And then what else was I going to talk about? Oh, the gazebo. Yesterday afternoon it was like 90 degrees. Oh, it was so hot out here. And then Jim wanted to close the curtains and to see how it blocks the sun. And I said, well, I don't want to really close the curtains right now because the sun's not really bothering me. I like to get a little bit of sun. I need my vitamin D. He said, well, no, I just want to see how it works. Well, the two sides close and zip perfectly, but the farther, the longer ends only came like about like that. They didn't close completely. So he couldn't figure that out because it's a 12 by 10. So he gets his ruler out and he's measuring and trying to figure this out. And I guess you got to put 5 clips on one side, 6 clips on the bigger side, and 5 clips on the other side to hold the curtain in place because it's like 4 curtains. Is it 4? 1? Yeah, 4 curtains. And so I told him, I said, you know what, I think the problem is, I think that when you put it on, you just need to, like, it's kind of hard to describe, but it goes like an L, like that. I said, I think you need to move it to the other side. So like this side should be over here so that the longer side is here, because you have the long side here. And then you need to do that. And then you need to move these, switch these two. I think that's all you need to do. No, that's not going to work. I said, well, I think it is. I think so. Let's measure the curtains. And he says, no, you go by the hooks. And I go, well, you can see that the hooks are kind of there's not much, there's a lot of leeway in them. That you could probably, if you really had to, you could put another hook and hook it over, which tells me that this is the bigger side that should be on the 12-foot side, not the 10-foot side. No, that's not it. Okay, picked up my book, started reading. He's like figuring out what he's going to do. He's measuring. A true half an hour later, he says to me, you know, I think what the problem is, I think this curtain's got to go over here, and then like that curtain's got to go over here, and then it'll work around. I told you that a half an hour ago. Why didn't you listen to me? I said, you know what, you're right. I didn't want to start a fight. It's close to my 50th anniversary. Why am I going to start a fight over something so trivial? I knew I was right. That's all I needed to know. So I didn't say anything. But then when we got all done, and when we were sitting down, we were drinking our ice water and that afterwards, and he said, you know what, I think that's what you told me in the first place, wasn't it? And I go, yeah, it was. He says, I should have listened. So even him, he's learned. After 50 years, you learn the little triggers. That's not to say that sometimes I know the trigger and I set it. I shoot. I fire away. It's just sometimes I just can't hold back. And the same with him. You know, after so many years, it's going to set somebody off. And you can either do it or you can't do it. And for the most part, I don't do it, but occasionally it needs to be fired. Occasionally. Not too often. But, so anyway. I know this is June, so it's like 6 months into the year. So we still got 6 more months left of this year. So let's look at this as the brand new start of another year. It's the start of the second half of our year. So we can do better. We really can do better. I, myself, didn't do the best I could have done the first 6 months. But I think I can do more than the last 6 months. And I think if you tell somebody, you know, I'll think about it. How about when we were growing up and you'd ask your mom, can I do this or can I do that? And she'd say, I think about it. What was the answer that you knew what she was really saying? No, we're not going to do it. And you knew that. You learned that as a kid. Just because you say, well, think about it, or maybe I'll do it. As soon as you say, maybe I'll do it, you know you're not going to do it. For the most part, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to do it. You have full intentions of thinking, like when you said maybe, that you really truly meant that maybe you would do it. But you need to tell yourself, yes, I am going to do it. I'm going to do it. Today is the day I'm going to do it. I'm going to start again. I'm going to start again. But we don't need to wait till Monday. I did perfect yesterday. I couldn't have done any better if I tried. I really did. I had for my breakfast, I had a vegetable tray with some broccoli and cauliflower and cucumber and tomato and some mushrooms. And I had my 2 tablespoons of my Southwestern dip to dip my vegetables in. And then probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I had my strawberries, raspberries, and my banana, and I had a cup of tea. Both times I had a cup of tea. And I had a cheese stick. And then for dinner, I had a huge salad. Even Jim made fun. He says, aren't you sharing it for the other 5 people? I have big salads. Well, you've seen my salads. So I had a salad with some cottage cheese, and on the salad I put the Olive Garden light dressing, and I put some feta cheese. I put a tablespoon of feta cheese, and then I like those little dried cran raisins, which I know are a little high in calories and points, but I like to spice it up a little bit. And I threw a couple olives in it, and I had a glass of iced tea. And then for dessert I had a sugar-free chocolate pudding. I was completely full the whole day. I was fine. I was not the least bit hungry. Today for breakfast I'm going to have a bowl of shredded wheat with some orange juice, my Simply Light orange juice. And then for lunch I have a little bit of salad left because I didn't eat for 5 people yesterday as much as Jim liked to think, so I made a little bit extra salad. So I'm going to have a salad with my light dressing on it. And then for dinner, we're going to have what we call in my family a mean roast. I have a chuck roast, and some mashed potatoes, and some carrots, and some mushrooms, roasted carrots, roasted mushrooms, and some broccoli, and a glass of iced tea. So I'm going to be on plan again today. So you just need to remind yourself, stop saying, maybe I'll do it. I know a lot of us think that, we haven't made a lot of progress. If you're still trying, you're making progress. You're making more progress than somebody that's just completely given up. And as much as I hate to admit it, it didn't all go on in one day. I could put a lot of weight on over the weekend. I completely understand that. But I didn't put 150 pounds on overnight. So I'm not going to lose 150 pounds overnight. It's going to take me a little while. And then I realize that the older I get, unfortunately, the slower it does to come off. So, just aim for progress, not perfection. There's not too many perfect people out here. I don't know. I can name like Jesus, number one on my list. Jesus was perfect. And as much as she wouldn't like to admit that she was, I think Mother Teresa was perfect in her own way. I mean, I'm sure she had her human faults, but she was pretty perfect. I tell my family that I'm perfect, although I know I'm not. I know I really am not. But, like I said, it's not perfection, it's progress. That's what we need to go with. And 1 pound at a time, and remember why you started. Sometimes it's easy to forget. It's easy to forget why you did it, why you need to remember why you started. Mine was when I went to, who was it? It must have been Sophia's. I think it was Sophia's. Yeah, because they had the regular auditoriums. David and Alyssa, when you went to their concerts, they had it in a gym with folding chairs, so you could move the folding chairs around, so you could sit in a folding chair. But Sophia's was my first concert that I went to that was in an auditorium, an elementary school auditorium, which will tell you how small the seats were. And when I went to sit down, my butt wouldn't sit in the chair. It wouldn't fit. And thankfully, we had got there early enough that people didn't see that was what was happening. So I went to the back of the hall, or the auditorium, and watched her concert from back there, and swore that this was it. This was her Christmas concert, and on December 31st, 2016, I joined Weight Watchers, and it's the best decision I've made. One of the best, not the best, but one of the best decisions I've made in my life. And I did really well that first year, and then got a little cocky. Just thought, this is going to come easy. It doesn't come easy. It never comes easy. Anything good in life never comes easy. Things that you got to work for, you appreciate more. Trust me, I appreciate this journey. I really appreciate how far I've come. And I appreciate the fact that I've readjusted a lot along the way. When I started back in 2016, I was determined I was going to get down to 170 pounds. That was my goal. Now I'd be happy at 195. You just have to reset your goals. And when I first started, I always thought I would go into the next set of decades would be my goal for each one. Then I lowered it to just 5 pounds. Now it's just to any loss. And I think that I'm feeling better about that decision. It's just as long as I get a loss each week. If it's a 0.1, I'll take it. If I stay the same, like I did this week, I'll take it. To me, that's the same as a loss. Because at my age, it's hard. It's hard at any age. I know when I say that all the time, people that are younger get a little upset, which I do too. I would understand. It's not easy. It definitely is not easy. I know that. But if you're in your 40s now and you try to compare yourself to me in my 70s, when you get to your 70s, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I know people always hate, I always hated when my mother says, when you get to be my age, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But with age comes experience. I'm sure if you're 40, you know more than a 30-year-old, and a 30-year-old knows more than a 20-year-old. It's just, you've lived more of a life, and you have more experiences to go back and fall back on. And when you hit menopause, it all changes. You wait and see. It all changes. But, so, gonna finish up my vlog here, edit it, get it up, have my breakfast, get on with my day. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. Once again, if your birthday's coming up, let me know. If you're new to my channel, let me know when your birthday is, or your anniversary. Just make sure you let me know your significant other. Okay, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.